Hi, and welcome to the next edition of How to Fertilize Your Budget. Today we're going to talk about how to make a budget to list out what all your expenses are versus what your income is. If you've not already done it, please pause the video and go and gather up your bills and normal expenses so you have them in front of you. You may have, if you've read my book, went ahead and made a list out, a paper copy of a budget, and that would make it easier to work off of, but you can do it either way. If you do not have a Gmail account, then you also want to pause this and go watch my video on how to create a Gmail account, Google account, so that you can use the Google Docs. So I'm going to assume you have everything in front of you, you're ready to go, and you have a Google account. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so you can see what's on my screen. I've already went to the google.com page. If you've not, then just type in www.google.com, press enter, so it'll bring up this page. I have blown up my screen to make it easier for you to see what we're doing here. Over on the right side, it says Gmail, images, and then there's these 9 dots again. These 9 dots is where our Google apps are located. If you click on that, it'll bring up a drop-down list of apps, and in that list is Google Drive. So let's click on that and bring up Google Drive. Now, in the Google Drive over here on the left side is New. If you'll click New, then it's going to bring up the list of options of new documents. I'm going to move this out of the way because I don't think you'll be able to see it. Here we go. On Google Sheets, there's an arrow. Beside the arrow, it gives you the option of a blank spreadsheet or from a template. We want to use a template, so click on that. And my top one here is going to be monthly budget because I've already been using this. You will have to scroll down and find it. If you look under personal, then you'll find monthly budget and click on that monthly budget to bring up the template they have created. I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller because I want you to see what's on the screen. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our template. We're going to make our template using their template. So they already have all of the calculations and everything set up in it. So all you have to do is use their slots. So if over here on the left side is expenses, that is your normal monthly expenses. There you go. This is your normal monthly expenses. They've listed out food, gifts. I'm not sure why a gift would be a monthly expense, but I guess it is for some people. Health or medical expenses, home, transportation, personal, pets, utilities, travel, debt, other, and then custom categories. So as you can see, they already have figures written into the home. We're going to change that to what our figure is. Do not touch the actual. If you change what's in this column, you will affect the way it does the calculations. You just want to change it under the planned column. I'm going to show you how to fix those without messing up the calculations. If you have regular monthly medical expenses, say prescriptions or something of that sort that you buy, that figure is going to go in here. Transportation, back and forth to work, back and forth to the doctor, whatever that may be, taking the children to school, whatever your normal expenses are, whatever you normally put into gas and upkeep on your vehicle is going to go in there. I'm going to put $50 on there. Personal would, things that would fall under that might be if you normally get your hair cut, or if you, whatever your personal things are. I mean, that's yours. I'm just going to put $25 a month on there. I don't have any pets. You might. If you have pets, then you want to list food or medical expenses for the pets, kennel, whatever you normally spend on that. Utilities. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Utilities. My average utility is about $200 a month, and so that's what I'm going to put in there. Travel would be if you, say, go out of town to the doctor or something on a regular basis. You would want to budget that under a planned expense. Other could include things such as if you didn't put your cable bill in there or your cell phone bill under utility. Let's put I'm going to put Verizon on there because that's my cell phone bill. And then under custom, I'm going to say Hulu Live because that's what I use for my TV and things of that nature. So those are normal monthly expenses that I have to cover out of my income. Now, over here, if you scroll over to the right, is your normal monthly income. My normal monthly income is about $1,000 a month. So I'm going to put that in there. Now, up here, going back over to expenses, planned, it totaled up what I had entered in there and came up with $878 a month. Since my income is $1,000 a month, that leaves me with about $122. Now, the reason why I came up with that is because they already had this $1,000 figure in here, but that is still accurate. So I'm going to put $100 a month for food. $100 a month is not a lot to spend on food, which is part of why I'm doing these videos, because I believe that there are other people out there that are struggling like me. And over the years, I've found different ways to supplement my income and to make the money that I have go further. And I'm going to share those ideas with you. But I think the first step in that is to identify where your money's going. So once you have all of this in of what your expenses and your income is, then if you look at the bottom of the page here, we're on the summary tab. If you will click on the transaction tab, these are some things they'd already entered up. That $1,000 that we saw on there is something they had already entered in. I'm going to delete that and I'm going to put in, I'm going to put in 2/1/2019 and I'm going to put the rent of $250 a month. And it put it under the rent description. It automatically put it under home because that's what they had entered in. You can click on the side here and choose the correct category for that expense. Then if you will scroll over to the income, they also had an amount entered in there as an example, and I'm going to overwrite that and put that $1,000 a month, and I'm going to leave that under paycheck. Now, if I go back to my summary page, then this is updated and see it says actual as that $250 a month for rent. And then for paycheck, it has planned $1,000, actual $1,000. So this is where you're going to put all of your expenses. Do put everything into this transactions spreadsheet. Now, before you start entering that in, though, let's save this as monthly budget. It's already named, but this is going to be our template. And so it's already named that, and we're going to click on this. Looks like a picture of a file folder and create, down here where it says new folder, a folder that says budget. And that's where our monthly budget is going to go. Now, if we click move, then it puts our monthly budget template in there. Now, we don't want to make any extra changes on this because we want to be able to reopen this every month and use it without having to enter everything in again. So now we're going to say file, make a new copy, and we're going to name that this month. So this month is February 2019, and that's where I'm going to enter that in at. If you can see here, there's an option that says share with the same people. That if you want to make it available for someone else who has a Gmail account to see your budget, say your significant other or spouse or child or whoever it is that's budgeting with you, then you can share to their Gmail account from there and they can pull it up, and they can also edit it so that when they spend money, they can go ahead and type it in under transactions to keep it up to date. So I'm going to click OK here. And this is going to open up my February. If you see up here, it says February 2019. I don't know. Let's blow this up again. There we go. February of 2019 up here at the top of the page. Now, if you scroll down, you can see that the template saved what we put in there. So we have the estimated planned, we have the planned amount entered into our expenses as well as our income. Now, if you click over here to transactions, then you can enter your next expenses in here. So I'm going to put on here my electric bill. My electric bill was $226 this month, and my electric bill goes through BPU, and then my category is going to be utilities. So now when I go back over here to the summary page, you can see that it has listed here utilities, $200. I spent, that was the plan, this is the actual, I spent $226, which means I am in the hole, a negative $26. That means I spent $26 more than I had budgeted. So now I'm already coming out with less money than I expected. So what am I going to do to make up that extra money? Well, after you finish doing the budgets, and I have a couple more videos I'm going to be posting talking about budgets and how to get the most out of your money by using your budget to identify things that could be eliminated or reduced or whatever. Then the next chapter in my book is on how to supplement your income using the internet. And so that's how we're going to build up this money here. That's what's going to go under other. And if you're using those, don't put a planned amount, because these things are not definite. They are based on what's available. And you're going to go on there on days when you're going to say, there's nothing to do. How am I going to make any money today? Well, today you're just not going to make any money using some of these websites. Now, I use several, and so I rarely have a day that nothing offers any surveys, or I do videos or transcribing or ghostwriting or whatever those things may be, but I don't put anything under planned, because you can't plan on something that is not a definite income. So what I would do when I received that income is I would go over here to transactions under income, and I would put, say, I made $50 through Swagbucks, and that is going to fall under an other. And then when I go back to my summary page, then you can see that it says under actual 50, planned 0. So then the difference is a positive $50. So there's a way for you to get started doing your budget. If you have any questions, then send me an email or add a comment. My email is learntodosurveys@gmail.com. And thank you for listening today. If you enjoy the videos, remember to subscribe, come back and check for more videos, and I hope to see you again.